And I could already tell you that when she was teaching, she could not come home and have a 5 o'clock meeting with the librarian. There was no way. So what I want you to do is notice. So Thursdays are my nights. So it says 12, 5, 5:30, or 6. So you can book me for a half hour, or you can book me for an hour. Most of the librarians have this ability. We are available Monday through Thursday. If you look at our calendars, Monday through Thursday until 7 p.m. I will tell you this, all of you. I hope you are hearing me and signing this and hearing it again. I know that the majority of you probably have lives that don't allow you to just break off after a full day of work or school or whatever to like sit down with me and talk to me about your class. Like, and nor do I probably expect you want to. Like, I don't want to talk about school all the time, right? I want to talk about Netflix. But anyways, so what I would say is this: if you need a consultation and it cannot be during those times, and you want to meet with me for whatever reason, email me. I put it in the chat room. Your professor will put my name in there. I will figure out a time to meet with you. I meet with weekends. I mean, look, it's 10:39 on a Saturday Eastern Standard Time, and am I doing anything but sitting here in a tie and shirt, right? Like, to me, my job is to help you. That's why I like being in Florida. I don't like the beach. Anyways, let's go. So, consultations. Anyone have questions? Probably not, because you can't talk about it. Sorry, I keep saying that. All right. So, databases. Ready. OneSearch. Many of you are going to tell me you already heard of OneSearch. OneSearch is this bar. If you hadn't realized it, we changed it completely. And I'm just checking 1 second. Okay, so OneSearch is a database. This is not the number one search. This is OneSearch, OneSearch. Like, you're going to search once. So, the first thing I want you to notice, I'm not going to do anything yet. I just want to focus on a few things. First, this bar is a Google bar. Not really. It's not really a Google bar. It's a basic search. One of my favorite students, she was doing her research on malformalities of tissue and muscle on your right and left tendons. I think that's how you say it, Dr. Haley. When you would sign after like 20 years, blew my mind. Like, I actually never think about like the fact that like, if you actually consider like what I do, like I could get like something wrong with my hands. I can't think of the actual term, but but you could actually like mess up your muscles from 20 to 30 years of signing, and it never even crossed my mind. And this is a junior doing this paper, which is incredibly, what a critical thinker, right? So when she was doing searches, she was using this one bar. Well, if you know anything about Google, you know that if you do the advanced search, it changes. So I'm just gonna click on it real quick, and I'm just gonna show you the difference. Okay, already there's one problem. Guess what happened? Look at the top middle. There's a blue writing in a yellow bar. Hello, guest. But we authenticated. Authenticated meaning we got into the library by authentication. So guess what we're going to do again? We're going to do authenticate again. What this means is that, and I'm telling you this because you need to know this both as a signer, sorry, that's offensive. Both as an interpreter, as not an interpreter, you need to make sure you're always authenticating. You need to keep track of that. Because as soon as you lose it, it's gone. And you got to start over to get into that realm. So, rather than starting at the just general search bar, I'm going to do a search, and I'm going to pull, I think he's going to do a pay doctor. Can I do deaf culture? How about that? Is that okay? Not good? Cool. So I'm just going to do a general search. in the search, in the advanced search bar. But I'm going to show you why. So, okay, these are the things you're really going to have to pay attention to, and this is what's going to be really hard to describe. I can guarantee you, as you sign, they are hard. On the right column, there's a drop-down bar menu. Every single bar has one. Selective field. Basically, that's a keyword. Text. It's TX, all text. This means that if Feinberg was in the title or in the abstract of the article, that all text would pull that article. It's anywhere in there. Author of the resource. This could be a conference material, a magazine, an article. Title. Okay, a lot of people think title means title of ebook. No. Title of source. I hope you guys know what that means. We'll talk about what it is. Subject terms is my favorite. So I can remember when I was in undergraduate degree, my grammar is great right now, I apologize. In my undergraduate degree, which was English education, I had a professor who kept saying, like, pay attention to subject terms. And I was like, obviously, it's middle childhood education. Why wouldn't I pay attention to the subject? But I'll tell you why. Subject terms are the cataloger's terms. I'm going to show you in a second what this is going to do. So ignore the rest. I give you permission, like the rest of this list. The source, the ISSN, the IB, you don't need to worry about these. If we scroll down though, you can see Boolean phrase, search terms. All of these are very, very complex. And it's always interesting because as you probably never realized, these are never really the same. And these limiters, these choose-of disciplines change yearly without us always knowing. So I was wondering, there's education. Let's just see. But again, that doesn't even really hit just ASL. It's not really deaf culture. It's not really deaf, it's just, I don't know, let's see what happens. So I hit search on the bottom right in yellow. All right, so I know, silly guy, I've already planned. What I'm gonna show you now, how many of you guys use Google? Everyone always tells me that Google is the best thing in the world, or Google.com, Google.com. Oh, there's nothing better, I can get anything I want. So I wanna show you something. So the reason that one search is great is that it's a big picture, right? We just did one search. Realize something. We limited it to education. I'm going to show you the opposite. We have 89 million hits when I put in deaf culture. And the first few just kind of look like pictures, images. I don't know. I don't think that's relevant necessarily for scholarly or like if you're writing a research paper. But I want to now go back, and now I'm going to show you something. I'm just going to go one screen back, so I'm going to hit the back button on the left top corner. I'm going to scroll down, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that's not checked off, and I'm going to do the same exact search. Watch, it'll prove me wrong, but let's see. Yes. Okay, hold on. I'm going to blow this screen up. That's a horrible way of saying it, but I'm going to enlarge this. Why is this so much larger than a second ago? We only had 28,000 hits a second ago. You do that, you realize, like, that's bananas, right? Like, it really is. You went from, like, one limiter, just saying education, took away that many. And guess what the thing is? This is all free to you. So what does your professor have you here in your class? I'll tell you this. When you graduate, you're not going to have this. Unless you go to a school where it has it again. Or you work somewhere where it has it again. You get what I'm saying? So that's what the point is. In short, like, you're paying for this access. Whether you're in Jamaica, whether you're in Israel, I mean, wherever you are literally, your tuition money is literally going towards this. So when your professors say, use this, this is why. So let's talk. So, okay, first, I didn't tell you this. 394 databases are searched at one time. I'm going to say that again because I already need water. There are 394 databases being searched just at one time. This is called a federated search engine. Federated searches basically means multiple databases, except for, in this case, it's usually called a discovery layer, because it's so big. Like, think of it like this. If I was going to watch TV, right, and I wanted to watch nature, I don't want to just watch like one PBS special. I want to watch the Discovery Channel. You could learn about macaques, orangutans, etc. That's fine. Okay, next, let's keep going. Deaf culture. So let's put in ASL, and this is a Boolean search using and to narrow it down. You're saying it has to have both deaf culture and ASL, and then what's another term? What if we do interpreting? And I'm just doing keywords. That's all I'm doing. In a second, you'll notice, and hopefully I can spell things right. Your professor will always laugh at me because I always spell things wrong. I think it was like 90 times, like last semester. Okay, look. Okay, wait. Cool. Ready? Look, 23,000. None of you were ever going to touch 89 million. None of you were going to touch 400,000. You're not going to touch 23. But watch what we're going to do. We're going to scroll down. So, before we get any farther, I want you to look at one record. We call a record, any record is like an article, an ebook, etc. You're going to notice that the words that are highlighted in blue are going to be, like the bolded ones, that's your term, deaf, right? I can look here, underneath. Now, many students don't ever do this. The first time I think I actually did this was in library school, which, believe it or not, is not the most fun place to go. I shouldn't say that, but I'm trying to make this a little bit more comedic so you guys aren't totally bored. So if you look here, subjects, right? I'm going to highlight it in blue for you. So we know that the librarian, this is a job, believe it or not. There's a librarian who goes through deafness, psychosocial factors, student attitudes, sign language education, blah, blah, blah. You get what I'm saying? What does this tell you? This tells you what? That I don't need to read this abstract if these subject headings don't make sense. This is the key. I teach a freshman research course. This is what I teach at UNF, for real. This is like the easiest, this is like the key to the class, because if you scroll over this little magnifying glass on the right, which a lot of these students don't realize, everyone thinks it's just there, but if you scroll down, there's the abstract. Most of you, I can guarantee, have read like thousands of abstracts by your junior or senior year. And I can also probably guess that most of you probably would regret about some of them that you read. At least half. Because you read thinking like the title is great, but then you look at the article and you're like, oh my gosh, what is this? Right? I have a story of things I've messed up on, but you didn't mess up, it's me. Okay. Articles come in two forms, PDFs and HTMLs. HTML is a Word doc, basically. They are not preferable. They're not. Why? Look. Tell me something. Tell me that you're going to hand this to a person who has hearing impairment even, not even totally deaf, and you're going to say, read this. And you're gonna have to give them like references or their professors or their teachers or maybe even a hospital. You're doing like interpretation and you're trying to help them get through this. Whereas this is what you're gonna get from your professor. I can guarantee you. This is like gold. This is when I joked about Xeroxing, Xeroxing, or copying or photocopying. This is what we would try to get. Because this is like you basically, and do not do this, please. Never cut from a journal. But this is what people have been looking for so many years. This purple link on the side, does everyone see this link? It's a tiny little chain, and basically everyone ignores it. This is the best thing you'll ever learn. If you're paying attention right now, I can guarantee you'll like me after this. This link comes up here. You can open a Word doc, a Google doc, an email, a notepad, and guess what? You all have group projects. I can already guarantee it. If you've not had it in this class, you have it in another. That took you right back to that article. So all the times you send emails with files of PDFs and it's too big or you can't figure it out, it's there.